What's up, Rafael Cortez here, back on the Wholesaling Business Blueprint series. All right, so the market is crazy right now, but you gotta know how to read it. This one strategy has yielded my company thousands of dollars over the last several weeks. Check it out. So every time we look at a property, we keep this in mind, all right? This one strategy, like I said, has yielded thousands of dollars over the last several weeks. And it only works because the market is crazy. So we can take that and use it to our advantage. You're gonna apply this on the dispo side. When you're running your numbers, there's gonna be a big difference between the sold comparables and the listed comparables, all right? So anywhere throughout the nation, we do coaching throughout the nation. I have students all over the place. We're seeing the same thing. All right, so we're seeing a big discrepancy between what's sold, so anything that has sold over the last 3 months, and what is listed. For example, you have a property, a subject property, right? And then you look at comparables, you're trying to figure out how much it's worth and whatnot, and you go into the area and you draw up the comps. The comps sold for $100,000 in the last 3 months. Say that you have 2 or 3 different properties, right? They sold for 100, average of $100,000. Now, if you look at what's listed, it's not gonna be $100,000. It's gonna be listed for $130,000, $140,000, all right? Why? Because the simple principle of supply and demand calls for it. There is just not enough inventory in most areas right now. However, there's a big, huge demand, especially by buyers who have pool funds, they have deep pockets. They just need a place to allocate their funds, and they're almost counting on appreciation over the next several months. So you have the basic principle of supply and demand that kicks in, right? So if you have sold comps, you're gonna be looking at $100,000. However, the listed stuff is not gonna make sense. It's gonna be up there in the 130s, 140s, and everybody's going like, why? What the hell is going on? Why are even realtors, right? They're putting up properties with almost like wishful thinking numbers in their mind. And the appraisal comes in and it's gonna be like, it never appraises. So what's happening? There is a big appraisal gap, and that's what I wanna talk to you about. So the appraisal gap has a lot of ripple effects, and the appraisal gap is the difference that happens, right? So you have a property that appraiser comes in when it's listed in the retail market. It'll come in and then it'll appraise for $100,000, but it's listed at 140. People are willing to pay right now above appraisal values just to get something in their portfolio. It's just the nature of it. Supply and demand is low. If you have a property that it's in a good area, trust me, it's gonna get snapped right away, because people just need properties. They literally need properties in order to have performing portfolios. And they'll be just kind of like banking on appreciation for the months to come, because that's how fast the market is moving right now. So there's this thing happening that is the appraisal gap, right? So appraisal gap contingencies are happening in traditional sales all the time. And what that is that you have a contingency inside your contract that states that whether or not the appraisal comes in at your listed value, they're still gonna move forward with the purchase of the property, right? So the loan contingency that's out of it, basically what happens is that they have to come in with the difference. So just to clarify, if you have a property that's logically worth $100,000 because of sold comps, however, you have it listed at $130,000, and the appraisal comes in at $100,000, which is what makes sense, you're still willing to put $30,000 out of pocket to make that deal work, all right? Now, what's happening right now, because there is no inventory, especially by savvy investors who have deep pockets, they are banking on that happening right now. So they're willing to pay higher price points for properties that they can come in and flip. Why? Because there's still some level of equity in there, all right? They're not buying at retail, they're still buying under retail, which that in itself, right now, it's a bonus. All right, so keep in mind the appraisal gap contingencies and the ripple effects, right? That's thinking ahead. That's something that's gonna happen on the dispo side, like on the traditional sales side, after the property has been fixed and flipped and all that stuff. However, if you don't think about that and you don't keep that in mind, you're gonna price it according to old rules of the market, right? The 70 minus repairs and all that stuff. And you're gonna make offers based off of that stuff. But now you can dispo it higher. Why? Because the retail market is allowing investors to do so. So take advantage of that. The appraisal gap right now, again, that's happening allows you to make higher offers. So if you make higher offers, you can do higher dispo prices. And yeah, the margins are not gonna look like they make much sense, but we're going off of what's available. We're going off of listed properties, right? Supply and demand, we're leveraging the inventory. This one strategy works very well, especially if you have properties in very good areas like A level or B plus level areas. Also, if you have a buy and hold properties, something that doesn't need much fixing, somebody can come in and then just do like a cosmetic fix and flip and put it back on the market. You can offer higher price points for those. Again, leveraging the appraisal gap contingency that's more than likely to happen whenever that property goes on the retail market, right? So keep the price point gap in mind when you're making your offers. Do not make your offers solely based on that sold comps criteria, right? You want to start there, but if the deal is not working out because you're getting outbid, that's why it's happening. People are banking on the listed activity, all right? People are banking on how fast the properties are moving. People are banking right now on the end consumer coming in and being willing to pay more out of pocket and close that appraisal gap contingency to price up the properties. So what can you do? You take that, you apply it to your wholesale business, and then you push the envelope a little further on the price points. So again, that one strategy, it's working wonderfully. It's not something that's sustainable, so it's not gonna be here for the long term, but right now it's a way of reading what's happening in the market. It's a way of reading the sold comps versus the listed comps and just leveraging and taking advantage of the principle of supply and demand, right? It's simple. You have more room for profits based on the listed price points. Why? Because of supply and demand. Supply is low, demand is still high. Who knows how long that's gonna last? Right now, it's relevant. So take advantage of that. Keep the appraisal gap principle in mind when you're making your offers. And just remember, people are right now willing to pay more, even if the property appraises for less because of supply and demand. All right, I hope you find this useful. We are going over strategies like this, strategies that are relevant, that are applicable on a regular basis on the Rhino Tribe, on the Wholesaling Business Blueprint. So if you're interested, go to wholesalinginc.com/WBB, follow the link in the description, and help me spread the word. If you like the content, if you're enjoying this, if you feel like it's useful, help me share the love. So subscribe, like, share, talk about it, drop a comment, and let me know your thoughts. Stay focused, you got this.